So today, like I said, it's pretty much the last country they're gonna see in Asia. We check every single one of them. If I missed one, just tell me which one and I'm gonna do it. But for this one, for the last video of Asia, the last country we're gonna look is Timor Leste. I think I could pronounce it very well or not. This is one of those Southeast Asian countries, and then after we finish with Asia, which is this video, we're gonna move to Oceania in this part. But today we're gonna talk about this country. Look at this, exactly how they look. Two main reasons, I say two main ways we look at this country. One, it's gonna look at the population, and second, we're gonna look how those people actually live with Google Street View and 360 that we're gonna have there. So let's start with the population. 1.5 million people and rising, and the growing rate, I would say, pretty stable on the above the water. Let's call it like that. So look at this, 1955, around 500,000 people with a growing rate around 1%. That would be like less than 5,000 people, no migration whatsoever, they say, and median age around 18 years old. One of those nonsense fertility rates, 6.5. And they have like 10% of the urban population. Now in 2025, the population grew at around 1.5 million people. So you can see they added another 1 million people. Yearly change around 1.3%. So even that is growing, still growing. Roughly translating around 18,000 people per year. Migration on minus. So you can see pretty much they have just here some plus migration and in 2000. But for the rest of them, they're in the recent years, since pandemic at least, they have migration on minus. Median age around 22 years old, so pretty good. Fertility rate 2.5, 2.6. It's a much more manageable number, but still way too much, I would say, for the country like that. Urban population around 36%. Now fast forward to 2050, 1.9 million people with a growing rate less than 1%, so they're gonna realize that they have to slow down. But for a country like that, they can go with this decreasing population even much faster than other countries, especially if they came up from the from the less populated area. That would be like 15,000, 16,000 per year, and migration, they say, is going to go on the plus on 2,000, but we're going to see that. Median age around 32 years old. Fertility rate, they got below replacement, they say 1.9, which is not that low below replacement, but still it is. Urban population around 56%. So life expectancy, I would say pretty good. 68 years old for both sexes, 70 for females, 66, 67 for males. And you can see they have a steep increase. So yeah, pretty good for them. Infant mortality rate 35 and death under age of 5, 43.5. Those are huge numbers, insane ones. So medical system looks like doesn't even have one. With those high numbers, in my opinion, it's a nonsense to have so much fertility rate, but I guess people are not rational beings, so it is what it is. Pyramid, you can say, very strong base, a lot, kind of significant, let's call it, a male surplus as pretty much any other country. Economic wise, well, it's exactly how you expect. GDP under 2 billion US dollars and PPP around 5 billion. Grow pretty much on the minus, probably because, who knows, minus 8.1% in 2020 because of pandemic, and I'm not sure exactly how they pick up from that. Per capita around $1,425 nominal, so yeah, they're just nothing, and $3,600 US dollars PPP, which is nothing again. Agriculture 9.1, industry 56.7, and services 35, around 35%. So that's why they don't have that much money. They have too much agriculture and too less services, in my opinion, as we saw with other countries. They export a lot to China, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, and Thailand, but also they import from Indonesia, China, Singapore, and Australia. So corruption index, well, it's exactly how do you expect. It's not one of those insane country with extremely low corruption. No, it's exactly I would say the opposite. Where is this? Timor Leste, 44-day score. Not too bad again, but anything under 60, 70 is just doesn't make that much difference in my opinion. History, as you can see here, there used to be a Portuguese colony, which again is something interesting, a European one, so I expect to see some South American vibes here, and we're gonna see exactly how that. So they have a lot of Portuguese influence for a lot of time, so I expect to see a lot of European influence. So let's see. They are, I would say, spread in these three weird shapes here. They have this part here. They have some issues with Indonesia, from what I understand. This one here and the mainland land here. We're gonna start with this one because, well, it's much more. Let's say they don't have that many 360, so we're gonna finish extremely fast. But let's see it. Unfortunately, yeah, it's not gonna be one of those countries like we saw in Maldives with a lot of 360 and some street views. So yeah. So far, what I can see is plastic chairs, which is not exactly very convincing as a tourist. Again, those Google refuse to load faster, whatever reason. It's the same one. I think there were two. Yeah, I want to check the other one on the other part of the street. No, it's the same one, huh? Yeah, it doesn't look that well, I have to say. I was thinking they have some prices here, but they don't. In this part you can see exactly how those people live. I mean, from the above you don't have that many 360. At least the housing are spread out. I believe this is a cemetery. That's why they are jammed together. At least I hope so. We have another 360 here. Okay, they have some airstrip on airport, which is pretty good. The same one? What the fuck? How did I end up in the same one? And I have another one here, and it's the same one. Come on. Not even working. Yeah, I want to see that one. No, we have some issues with Google Earth, 100%. Let me check that again. Let me go and refresh. So bad so far. Yeah, I want to see that one. Why it's so hard to understand? See? Yeah, well, now we have to wait like an age to load for whatever reason. In these small countries, I believe it's gonna take a while from the Google server to load those images. I assuming that, probably because not that many people checking those countries. That's an expensive car, by the way. You know what? I can see some Portuguese influence and, like I said, some South American vibe. But they have some decent roads so far. Again, it's gonna be a poor country. I'm not expecting anything, so it is what it is. But let's see. Yeah, clearly a Catholic country. Clearly. Give me here the I want to see the border where it is. Right there. That's all I need. So we have quite a few 360s, like 4 or 5. Let's check all of them, see exactly how those people are doing. Ooh, that's a pretty nice view actually. I don't know why they have 2 of those. They have one and the other one. Yeah, pretty weird, but it's a nice dam. Well, in this part I guess they are the more poor people living here and not that much life quality, let's call it like that. Nothing on the beach, so yeah, we're gonna move to that small island now. Let me check again where is the other East Timor. So yeah, here we're gonna have much more data, but let's check this island first and then we're gonna go to the main part of the country. Right on the beach, let's see. Well, actually not so bad. You have some legs there. Now, it's not an ideal place to go to the beach, but I guess it is what it is. Let's see something else here. Oh, like here on the street, on the road. Let's see how well it is. Well, the road is missing pretty much, but like I say, I always prefer a dirt road than a bad tarmac one. So yeah. They have quite a few 360 in this area, so probably just making by the one guy. At least it has a decent camera, so yeah. This is 2018. We have someone here texting or whatever he does, or just checking Google Maps, I think. So probably a tourist, a Portuguese one, maybe. Oh, I have something here. Hopefully it's working. Oh yeah, let's see. Nice palm trees. It is like an alley here, whatever it is. Clearly those are for rental from the tourists, for tourists, so yeah. Very basic, but still working. So I guess good for them. Yeah, not that much development on this island, but it's working, I guess. Oh, it's actually a mountain island. We're gonna check that in 3D in a second. Yeah, it is how do you expect. Just pretty much nothing. But again, we are on this small island, so not the main one. The main one is gonna be a total different story. But not so bad, even if you live here. Like I say, made by just one guy. Maybe at least you have some peace and quiet if you live there. So yeah, you can see here probably like a mountain island here. So quite interesting. Oh, we have a village here. Let's check that one. The beach looks pretty nice there. So that's the airstrip right there. No. Oh, maybe it's not from there, but they have an airstrip, I think. Where that was? Oh, no, it's not airstrip. It's just the way that looks. Yeah, look at it. The water looks pretty nice in here. So unfortunately, we don't have now 360, but I guess we kind of saw everything here. Let's go to the main part of the country, and we're gonna start here. I'm gonna check exactly the western part. Let's check this road that goes to the border. How well it is. Has to be the great one. Well, not so bad actually. You know what? Again, don't expect much. Like how much was like 1,500 US dollars per capita. I just can't expect that much. This is 2024 and the quality of this street view just extremely poor. Housing here, well, it's good as you can expect, I guess. So let me fast forward to other location. Let's go to this village. Let's see how well they're doing here. Well, I don't see the point of those fences, but I guess they like fences there. I'm not sure if is this garbage or whatever it is, but hopefully it's not. Somebody's selling here fish, I guess. What's selling here? Can we see it? No, the quality is not that good, so yeah. Who made this in not even 1 year ago? Just shame on you. Look how bad it is, how it looks. But at least we have something, so yeah, I guess it is what it is. So we kind of finish that part of the country. Let's check those 360, maybe we get better quality here. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, some garbage here, which I don't like. Housing, very South American so far. Kind of gives you that vibe, so yeah, it's easy to identify which colony these people were, or at least which influence they had. That's important. Landscape wise, pretty nice. I have to say, those are expensive cars. Definitely a lot of people from here is gonna be the same story. They're gonna working outside the country to manage to earn some money, because clearly the salary here cannot be that high. That's a nice green there, and we have some power plant again. A lot of garbage. Come on, just cannot keep your country clean. Otherwise it looks pretty nice, but look at the garbage here. It's just how you can actually go to those places and say, nah, I'm gonna throw it right here. Yeah, kind of fucked up, but it is what it is, I guess. Ooh, let's check this out here. Oh, that's like a small village. And a very poor one. At least they don't have fences, so I give them that. I have no idea what this guy is transporting here, but some vegetables, I guess. Very native. Let's call it like that. Very old school. Which it's kind of interesting to live in one of those, I have to say, from the Western perspective, but living your entire life like that, probably wanna do some better. Here it looks like the sea is gonna come in and just take everything out. Yeah, oh, this guy is living on a short line. It's a front beach property. This one I think is like where you take the dinner and the Sunday night, and those are beachfront properties. That one, it is right there. At least they have power, they have the electricity, so pretty good actually. You know, it could be worse, so let's check those guys. They have electricity, which is extremely high plus, and also some garbage there that I don't like. So yeah, you can see poverty is one thing, living with garbage is another thing, building those nonsense fences, it's again another thing that I'm not agree. This, whatever that rocks there, it has no place there in my opinion. Plant some trees, make some nice alleys. It does not gonna cost any money to just put the work there, I guess, but it is what it is. It's a Portuguese influence. It's not a British one, so we can clearly see that. I don't understand those colors. Why would you paint your house pink? Is this the only paint that they have in the store or what? Roads pretty good, actually. You know what? Decent roads, especially if you don't use heavy trucks, heavy cars, just using bicycles and motorbikes, pretty good. They have cars, so clearly it's not like in Maldives. They have sidewalks, sort of, not that well maintained, but at least they have it. Yeah, very, like I said, it feels a lot, especially to me. Look at this, smoking, very nice. It looks like a South America influence. Just, I have to give the British Empire a lot of credit for what they achieve in their colonies and how they look today compared with other colony like French, like Spanish, Portuguese. Probably this one is the good neighborhood here. Probably pretty decent, I would say. At least they don't have those nonsense fences. This one has one, so yeah, I don't see the point of that. Maybe they make them feel more secure. They have some antennas here, so clearly they have a TV, or maybe just for drying. No, it's a TV antenna. They have a road, they have concrete roads, they have even a sign there, like a name for the street. They have those things that they just redirect water so they don't get flooded. They have some goats here, I guess, no? Had some goats on the street. They have cars. Ooh, very rich neighborhood. It's gonna be a very rich neighborhood here. So take a good look. They have banana trees. You know what? They're actually pretty rich so far. You know, they have bananas. They have cars. They have a street. They have a name on the street. They have probably one of those new upcoming neighborhoods. So yeah. Now it's like 21st century. What is it? An airport? Oh yeah, that's why they have that. So clearly it's gonna be a very important city here. I have to say, they have a airstrip and an airport, and a highway. Wow! I hope it's not the main city, but it looks very important. And the highway actually it is pretty good and very empty. So yeah, they're doing well there. Oh, they have even those upcoming neighborhoods here. So look at this. Why you want to live in this dirt? Just plant more trees, for God's sake. It looks horrible. Hopefully we are still in the country. I didn't fuck this up. Yeah. What, the highway just ends here? That's it? So this is the highway, and then it's just go in a street. I never see a finish like that. They have some signs here, so for them it probably is like, wow, that was amazing. And they stop right there. So yeah, that's the main road. And they have this one, which doesn't look that well, but especially from the above, maybe I'm mistaken. Let's check it. Let's check how well this one looks. Yeah, exactly how I expected. There's just no road whatsoever. It's just a dirt one. But again, pretty decent. Well, yeah, again, you can't expect much from a Portuguese colony. I'm kind of mean now with the Portuguese, because in Portugal they're doing at least architecturally in some islands. Well, probably gonna check that at some point. Much better. You're gonna see some Portuguese island that they're doing top notch, seriously. But here, yeah, I guess the people just don't have that much interest in making a better. Oh, this one is pretty nice. Wow, you know what? I am impressed now. What? Almost 2,000 meters. Whoa, so they are actually pretty high on this island. They doing pretty good here. And look at those. Clearly, it's a man-made wall. So yeah, they doing pretty nice here, I have to say. I didn't imagine they can go that high. Oh yeah, it is pretty high. They have some nice, decent mountains. And they have a peak here. Wow, let's check this one. How's gonna be over 2,000 meters? Definitely over 2,000 meters. Almost 3,000 meters. Wow. Okay, take some pictures here. And this guy the same. Probably this is the peak of the country. And again, some Catholic symbols. Let's call it like that. Clearly, that's the most important thing. Looks pretty good, actually. You know what? Probably, yeah, that's the highest peak. There's almost 3,000 meters. You know what? Not so bad. What is happening here? Oh, so expensive cars right there. So yeah, probably the same, like I said, working outside the country and coming in a country to spend the money. It's the same thing here. The things that kind of bothers me a bit, and for me again, it's a nonsense. It's just probably that's the main cities, by the way. It is the fact that the population is still growing. Just I cannot understand that. You're doing so poorly and you still multiplying yourself. Just doesn't make any sense to me. But every single one of those cars that I see here, they're very expensive. So yeah, I guess they kind of have some decent money, more money than I have. So they're doing much better than me. And my GDP per capita in my country is like more than 10 times this country, and population also 10 times more even. So yeah, they still doing better than me. So probably we should move there. Roads are actually pretty decent. Again, not amazing, not anything like wild, but still pretty decent. Do they have like good neighborhoods in these countries? I mean, every country needs to have one, but it just is gonna be hard for me to see it. This is a cemetery. What is there? What is happening there? Oh, they have the airstrip right there, and I'm not sure if it's exactly from this angle. Maybe it is, just didn't see it that well. Yeah, a lot of people are jammed together here to live. Wow, pretty good roads here. Like I say, it gives you that South American vibe. It's just very clearly, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I don't see to manage a good neighborhood. Wow, this one's even worse. How can they manage that? I know I prefer dirt roads, but at least a smooth dirt road, not something like that. Oh, that's actually a pretty interesting house. You can just fix him up a bit. Actually looks pretty good. Compared with this one it's much better. Much better. Yeah, this one, no fucking way. Yeah, probably a lot of people just working outside the country, 100%. Wow, that's a fucking palace. Look at this. This guy is rich as fuck. How do they manage to... What is that, a mirror? How do they manage to... to build one of those things here, and also how they got on those streets with those street view. Ooh, wow, that's some extreme. Oh no, I thought it's an extremely rich one, but no, it's like a church. But extremely that's an expensive car, extremely wealthy church, let's call it like that. Poverty at home, I guess. Again, same South American vibe. Doesn't matter where you land, same thing everywhere. Where they could be, if they have a good neighborhood on the main street, where that could be. I mean, could be here on the short line. At least they don't... What the fuck, they have like barbed wire here. At least they don't have, so far I didn't find those apartment buildings like communist style, but I'm sure if I'm looking hard enough I'm gonna find something. But hopefully they do not have. Wow, look at how many cars here. How can I afford those cars? No, I know, they're working outside. Or they're working on the black market. Oh, this is the main street, I guess. Let's check this out. Look at the cars, how many there are. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's a new Mazda. That's a CX-30, I think, or a CX-5. Still expensive. Ford Rangers, Toyota, you know what? And this is 2025. Oh, very recently, just a few months ago. We get to see very accurate imaging. Yeah, this one doesn't look that well. A lot of expensive cars, and this one also is expensive, like an electric one. Kind of weird shape on the rear window. Road's pretty good. They have some tall buildings, so yeah, clearly this is the main street. And that probably is the main harbor, I guess. Yeah, clearly some Spanish, some Portuguese influence here. It is actually really impoverishment here. It's just, oh, if I check this one, I have a feeling like a South African vibe is gonna be here. Oh yeah, definitely a South African vibe. Wow, they sell wood here, or what is that? Cinnamon? No, I don't think it's that big, but they could be. So yeah, it's just, why would you choose to multiply yourself to make more humans, more kids, when you live like this? It's insane. And even the medical system is not that good, so a lot of them actually dying. See, that's the human rationality. It is what it is, I guess. Oh, I saw something interesting there. Yeah, here is not that much. I saw something here. Look at this. Looks like a palazzo. And it's a church. It looks much better from above. I thought that's it. It's gonna be a nice one. So yeah, they have the mountains here. So clearly, if you have some good neighborhood, or at least some good houses, should be in the mountains, I guess. Like, you know, the Hollywood Hills, something like that. But, oh, nice banana trees. But I don't think is that the case so far. Yeah, it doesn't look that well even here. What you can say about this one? Can you still visiting? I mean, we're coming after Maldives, which is... Let's start from this part of the island. Maybe we get more luck here. So yeah, probably it's gonna be underwater images, but let's check it anyway. See, I was right. It looks pretty good here. Oh, it's a nice turtle right there. And some weird things that happen here. It is pretty nice, but again, you have to convince people to visit your country when you compete with other countries. It's not like you're the only one to have those beach. I mean, it looks very nice, I give you that. Make a better 360 because this one is pretty fucked up, but I get it. You have something. I'm not gonna stay here and say, oh, you got nothing. But there is a lot of other countries that they have the same thing or better. but looks pretty good, I have to say. In this part, probably the east part of the country is gonna be the more touristy one so far, so I can see. So let's check that. Maybe we get a better luck here. Oh, that's actually much better. Look at this. When you don't have that many humans around, it actually looks pretty good. When you introduce humans, they just fucked up everything. And we have a road here that we don't have. We can check them, but we have some 360 around this place. So let's see these ones. Yeah, it doesn't look very touristy to me, and at least it's clean. I give them that. Oh god, let's check this one. The road, like I said, the road is pretty good. Not so bad at all. This one is pretty bad, but it's like more like an exploration road, you know. You just want to go there to see exactly how the landscape it is, how nice it could be. But the main roads you can see here are pretty decent. I have to say. Again, they're using a lot of light vehicle, I would say, but they have those trucks, pickup trucks, which are not exactly that light. So they're gonna take a toll on the roads, but it is pretty decent, I have to say. Oh, that's a goat, right? Or the dog, what is that? Yeah, it is poverty. It's just, I guess that's the school right there. I don't know. Some of them they're doing better, at least on the outside. I mean, this hills right there looks pretty nice, and that house right there looks very colonial. I would say not that much, but still a bit better. But you have to live with this like that on the other side of the road. It's just, and that's a community gated, I guess, a gated community. Yeah. Oh, we have something interesting here. Unfortunately, not that many 360s, but maybe something. Nah, it's just a empty plain field, I guess. Oh, like a main village in this part of the town or the island. Yeah, the road is pretty much missing here. It's pretty sad at some point. This is probably the main one because we have that on the middle. We have those trees in the middle of the road. Clearly not that well maintained. But they have expensive cars. I mean, they have some different priorities probably than we have here in the West. Yeah, in the West we have the same fucked up people. Like they just buying. They have cars that are more expensive than the house that they're living, which in my opinion is insane. But it is what it is for those. Luckily, they're not that many, but still, there are a few that is gonna drag everyone down with them. So, what can we say about them? Well, the economy seems to go actually down, not upwards, so that is gonna take again a toll on the life of the people. But the problem with the people, like I say, is just the population growth. I mean, like, I don't understand that why you wanna have kids, at least that many. Now they can slow down, of course, but even can you imagine back in the days, even worse, much worse. I get it, they don't have that many back, let's say in the 60s and 70s, they don't have that much contact, the average guy, with the outside the world, and probably they living a much simpler life back then and much cleaner than they have today. But still, you have to think for a second. It's like, I'm gonna make that many kids. How's gonna look the future when you don't have that many things here to grow the economy, grow the life quality here? It's just, and also a lot of corruption in the same time. I mean, it's just, it cannot go well. It cannot end well. And keep in mind, we're gonna check every single country in Africa. So I have to prepare myself from what we are gonna see there. So probably the same image, I guess, but we will see how. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is not a road exactly. It's just trying to be a road, whatever. They're using helmets, so yeah, here they just like mandatory one. It's just, why? You have a growing population. You don't need that. Let's check this one. I believe it's gonna be good, this one. Yeah, so it's pretty decent, this one. You can see it. One lane on both sides. One lane from both ways, so yeah. Oh, this one, it could be decent. So far I didn't find a decent neighborhood, but yeah, look at this. The house is pretty big and the cars is very expensive. It's a Ford Ranger, I think. And those goes for like 20, 30 euro, 30,000 euros here in Europe. So they are expensive car. Even I cannot afford one of those cars. So those guys just, at least they use them for something, or just they want to pick up trucks. Beside the bad roads, I get it. If you buy it for that, okay, fine. But still, do they use them for farming probably or something? Otherwise, what's the point having one of those pickup trucks? Just doesn't make sense in my opinion. Front beach property, I guess. It looks pretty good. I wish we have a 360 here, but we don't. So we can actually check the view. Oh, I think I saw 360. Oh yeah, look at this, the view. The view is pretty good. I mean, living in even you're in impoverishment, living like that there. Not so bad. Not so bad. I think we saw 360 around here. No? That was just my mistake. Let's check. They have even palm trees on the road here, and with that view, I mean, look at this. If those street views are better quality, I would say like, wow, they look amazing. I mean, poverty, but they're living in a nice place. Especially those guys right there. It's not that big, but it's this one. It's more open here. Not that many people around, I guess, in that region. Not so insanely jammed together. The road's pretty decent. And the view, I guess, you cannot beat that. Come on. Oh, God, they fucked up again. What the fuck? Let me check again. Look how fucked up it is. And that's Google, by the way. Look how slow it's loading. What the fuck? They just got it. I mean, like, I was using too much. And they say, fuck it, not too much, not until there. Okay, let's check another area. Yeah, it loads very slowly at some point. I have no idea. I don't think it's my internet connection, but at some point it just look fucked up entirely. Broad here pretty good. Again, why the fuck did you stop? Very bad way, very bad way. Okay, let's check some other areas. Ooh, what is happening here in the middle of nowhere? We have this 360 and it's gonna go extremely slow, for God's sake. Come on. You have 2 points now. Look how bad it is. Oh my God, what's happening? Yeah, I wanna see it. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here. It's just a bunch of nonsense in my opinion. Yeah, now it's not working. Fine. Why did you say that before? It's working, this one? Okay, at least we have one. Those looks like tourists to me. Yeah, decent. Probably it's the hotel there or something like that. Oh, we have something here. So now we just see, now it looks a bit better. Now it's like working a bit better. Hopefully it's gonna stay that way, so I can finish this video at least. They have like water pipe here, I guess. Landscape wise, it is pretty nice even here in the mountains, but you don't want to live here. You want to live on the beach, for God's sake. Come on. That's why you're living in those countries. Like, at least you don't have the money, but at least we have the best view possible. So that's I'm gonna take. Look at this. That's a nice road to take every day to work. I'm not sure exactly what work those people have here. Doesn't seem like a huge community here, but they have to have like, I don't know, a store, some government rich here, so they need to have like, I don't know, police office or post office, the fire department, hospital. My hospital maybe not, but at least they had to have something. here they didn't even bother to check those. I mean, like, there are not that many people, there's not huge communities, so they could actually check them, but they choose not to, which is sad. Yeah. Well, like I say, poor country. I did not know anything about them. Now we just learned that they are a ex-Portuguese influence colony, whatever you want to call it. Colony, not so much, like more influence from the European Portuguese perspective. But I don't see, again, I can see it because like looks like South America, but it's not like they're gonna have some it took some real values from the Europeans here. It's just like nothing. I don't see nothing here European. Those are expensive helmets, by the way. Yeah, so they have some money, I guess. Here, not so bad. No, joking. Obviously, it's bad. For God's sake, look at this. Now they have a road here, which is you cannot go that way for whatever reason. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Well, I guess we see everything. Oh, they have even some gas storage. What is this? A petrol or gas storage? And a goat. Why they have those goats just loose around? Yeah, I guess that's the country. Oh, let's check this beach and think we are done here. Oh, such a high mountains there. This beach not so bad. I mean, look at this. The country doesn't look bad. It could be 10 times better. Those are wild horses or what? But it's just, should we blame the Portuguese influence and not, like, probably if we have like a British colony, a British influence, it's gonna do much better. But I guess now it is what it is. I mean, look at this garbage, come on. And those people just sitting there, it's like, what the fuck. Those trees are actually pretty nice. Yeah, very, very Portuguese, I would say. Very Portuguese. That's the main priority. Not making roads, not establishing some education systems, some medical systems, some rule of law, and all that stuff. No. Religion comes first. I guess it is what it is. But yeah, we check it, we see it now. I don't see any reason why anyone from this country will watch my videos, but if you do, yeah, it doesn't look that well, I have to say. But as a Portuguese influence, I kind of expect that also. Like I say, it's very South American vibes in a lot of ways. Maybe it was a bad for them because we kind of came from Maldives and then we came up here, which clearly it's a much bigger difference. But still, I mean, like, not doing that well. And we can see that how much was 1,000 US, 1,500 US dollars per year. So yeah, but I guess again with those cars that we saw, yeah, a lot of them they're just working outside the country. So money, it is an issue, but in the same time, a lot of them they kind of have money because, like I said, those cars are not cheap at all, and they choose to buy those cars instead of actually making, I don't know, a business there to hire more people, or at least better house, keep outside the house or in front of the house more clean, because we see some garbage in some areas. So yeah, otherwise landscape wise pretty nice, but that is not what's gonna save your country. So yeah, I think that's the country here. That's Timor Leste or Leste, I don't know exactly how they pronounce it, but pretty interesting one you can see here. And that was the last country in Asia. So yeah, I guess from tomorrow we're gonna go in Oceania here in this region and gonna see what we can find here differently, still gonna have some Asian influence, especially probably tomorrow probably I'm gonna do the Papua New Guinea most likely, and we're gonna choose another one. I'm gonna see which countries gonna go with them, but still I believe they're gonna be some very Southeast Asian influence here, so I'm not expect something amazing like Australia, for example. That, like I say, after I make every single country, I'm gonna go back to those countries that I didn't check them, how they live. In Australia, I think we checked Perth, but I don't remember checking the entire country, at least not randomly on the map. So yeah, we're gonna do that at some point. Until then, see you next time, and check the other videos that I make. This is the last one in Asia, so now we're gonna move to Oceania.